Hey world, how are y'all? So you guys are doomed. I am going. Ooh, sounds like I'm going through puberty again. Watch out. I am going to be doing political crap and UFC on the same channel. So buckle up. I won't do them in the same videos, so you're safe. At least if you have a preference for one or the other, you're able to watch them. My name is Brandon, and we're going to start this off at UFC 200. This is my first video I am doing on the topic. I just decided to get into it because I was trying to do some research on different people's opinions on who was going to win, who wasn't, and I really wasn't impressed with what I could find on YouTube. So I decided I am going to put my foot in the race and see how things go. So if this gains traction, awesome, and if not, I was an utter failure. But I tried. All right, so we're going to start off with the main event, UFC 200, Daniel Cormier versus Jon Jones. Holy mackerel. Really good fight the first time they fought. Jon Jones definitely has the reach advantage. Probably the better striker. Well, not probably. Definitely the better striker on the outside. Cormier, arguably the better wrestler, although he got out-wrestled by Jon Jones the first time. I give this one to Jones purely because of reach, because of his solid wrestling defense, and I really think Cormier has to constantly go inside of his range in order to kind of put the fight where he wants it, and I think that's just going to kind of work for Jones's style of fighting. Jones looked horrible in his last fight, but I think that kind of got the jitters out of his system, and since he has one fight down, I think he has a really good chance against Cormier. Yeah, not my favorite fighter in the world, but I think he's got an excellent chance of winning it. All right, so that's the first one. Lesnar versus Hunt. Brock Lesnar is coming over from WWE, and he's going to be fighting Mark Hunt. There's a couple big issues for Lesnar. He's really good at wrestling, but he's fighting a guy with tree trunks for legs. It's hard to take Mark Hunt down. I don't know if you've ever seen the guy, but he's a huge human being with a huge lower body. I don't know how taking down a big tree goes, but that's kind of what it would be like trying to take down the Super Samoan. I am going to give this one to the Super Samoan for multiple reasons. First of all, Brock Lesnar has not fought in a long time, so he's going to be coming in cold. He's a really strong wrestler that's fighting a guy that has really good takedown defense, and he's going against an incredibly heavy-handed person, and Brock has a tendency of not enjoying getting hit, and Hunt can hit. I think he has more walk-off knockouts than anybody else in the UFC. So, it's not fun to get hit by that guy. All right, Misha Tate versus Amanda Nunes. First of all, Nunes does not deserve this fight. It's a title fight. Nunes looked horrible in her last fight. Her cardio looked pitiful. She had a pretty good first round, and then second and third, if I remember right, were okay at best. I think this is jumping the gun way too much. She is getting the fight, so you get to pick one of the two. I'm going to go with Tate. I think she has a better cardio, just about as good as striking, way better wrestler. I think she's the smarter fighter. I just don't think Nunes has a chance. So that's just my opinion. I'm not excited about the fight at all, to be honest, but hey, they got it on there. Aldo versus Hunt. I'm sorry. Aldo versus Edgar. I shouldn't have messed that one up. Frankie Edgar is my favorite fighter, so I am going to be biased towards him. I'm going to try to pick this critically, though, and I'll go at it from a perspective of I think Aldo has been looking weaker and weaker in his last fights. And I don't know if it's so much him looking weaker or if it's just more of the fact that other people are starting to recognize his game plan. It doesn't seem like it has evolved very much. He just has very explosive striking, has pretty solid cardio for the first 3 rounds with really good striking, and he usually is able to either finish or create such a lead in that amount of time that people can't catch up. Bad news for him, he's fighting Frankie Edgar. They fought before. He won. It was a super close fight. He did win, in my opinion, won the first 3 rounds. The third round was super questionable, but then he gassed, and Frankie took 4 and 5. In this fight, I think it's pretty much identical. Frankie Edgar is guaranteed to take 4 and 5 unless something obviously serious happens. And then it really comes down to the first 3. I can't see Frankie Edgar losing 3 rounds to Jose Aldo again, the first 3. I just don't. Frankie Edgar has been on a tear since his loss to Jose Aldo. I don't believe he's lost once. I'm sorry, not once, 1 round. He has just been dominant through every single round, and it's not He's not a fun guy to fight. His stand-up is excellent. His movement is excellent. His power seems like it's getting better. And his wrestling, it is as good as it gets when you consider how he mixes it in with everything else. And then you combine that with one of the most intense cardios in the game, right up there with Dominic Cruz and Demetrius Johnson. I mean, they are the top 3 people fighting a guy that gasses. I think it's I wouldn't say an easy win, but I think it's a win for Frankie Edgar. I think Jose Aldo's taking this fight a little bit lightly, and Frankie Edgar doesn't take anyone lightly. So that's my perspective. Cain Velasquez versus Travis Browne. I think this will be my last one I pick. I'm actually going through the rest of them this will be my last one. Cain Velasquez versus Travis Browne. Travis Browne, I'm assuming, has the reach advantage. He's definitely the taller fighter, fighting Cain Velasquez, who's a better wrestler, has been the champion, has the cardio of no heavyweight that I know of. I mean, just incredible cardio. This one's a tough one for me. I don't find Travis Browne to be a smart fighter, but I don't consider Cain Velasquez to be that smart of a fighter either. Cain has just been able to overpower people with with his cardio, mixing in his wrestling and pretty solid striking. And Travis Browne, he's just hit or miss. He's got a wild side to him. His fight with Orlowski was that was a barn burner. If you ever want to watch one round of a fight, Google that one or go to Fight Pass. That is an excellent 1-round fight between those two. I really don't want to pick this because I'm going to be on the record for it. I guess I'm going to go with Cain Velasquez. He's coming from a better camp. I have a lot of respect for AKA, which is where he's coming from. Trains with Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, and many others that are just beasts. They seem to train a little bit too hard. They seem to get a lot of injuries, especially Cain. But Travis Browne, he's training with or whatever the dude is that trains Ronda Rousey, and I think he's about as good of a trainer as I'd be, and I don't consider myself a trainer at all. I consider myself decently educated on the fighting game, but that's about it. So yeah, I think if I'm just going to go with fight camps, preparation, I think I'm going to go from that. The actual styles and how they match up, that's a tough one for me. So I'm just going to go with Cain Velasquez, and that's what we're going to end it as. So my final picks are going to be Jon Jones versus Cormier, Jon Jones, Lesnar versus Hunt, Tate versus Nunes, Tate, Aldo versus Edgar, Travis Browne versus Velasquez, and we're going to go with Velasquez. That's all for now, guys. Peace out. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, guys. I work for a living, so I get dirty fingers and stuff like that. Peace out again. Bye-bye.